Okay, thank you very much, sir, for your very informative experience and knowledge about the service matters and rights of us. You always inspire us, always motivate us, always guide towards the association and help us in any situation when we stuck out. So thank you, Karthik, sir, for your most motivational welcome speech. Now, I think this meeting will be stopped in 5 minutes. So if the meeting will be stopped, I request all the participants to rejoin the link with the rejoin the meeting with the same link. So I think it will be stopped. So what should we do? We should rejoin, then start, or we should continue? Kindly guide us.
Sir, recently we have got
Marana, sir?
one message that this meeting time is extended, sir.
Yeah,
Extended, yes, sir.
yeah,
Yes,
one,
sir.
yeah, one message is there, sir, that it will be within 5 minutes. It will be.
Okay.
Sir, we should carry on perhaps, and we may rejoin everyone if it gets break.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so sir, yeah.
Sir, I think let Sachin sir continue, or all are requested that if in case the meeting is interrupted, please join it with the same link immediately after discontinuation of meeting. Right.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Marana, sir. Okay. Now, I am inviting our today's keynote speaker, Dr. Sachin N. Shinde, sir, Coordinator, Single Coordination Committee, Pune, for his most awaited speech on service matters of teachers and their fundamental rights. One more thing I would like to share that Sachin sir is a very inspiring person for us because I am having a little story that when there was a service matter in the Rungta where I was employed, I saw a YouTube video of Single University. There some matters was there that students and teachers are fighting for their rights. So we have inspired from that story, that YouTube video, and the leader was that story was, I think, Sachin Shinde, sir. So most welcome, sir. I am inviting you for your speech, Dr. Sachin N. Shinde, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Good morning, all of you. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Sir, yes.
Yes, audible.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So first of all, I am thankful to Maharana sir, as well as the Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh unit for inviting me for this session, as well as I am also thankful to Karthik sir, because he is also doing a very nice work for all the private teachers. Also, he has put a proper message to his keynote speech in these issues related to the private teachers. Now, when before the starting, during this our session, I will try to cover maximum points which questions which are in your mind, and also if that some points are not covered, we will cover at the end during this question and answer session. Before starting this, again, I am not can say that much of experience of this kind of battle against this kind of managements, but during this our travel from 2016 to 2021, we got help of some senior members, like say from Kolhapur, Maharashtra, we have Sridhar Vaidya sir, Professor Sridhar Vaidya sir, as well as from Bombay, one of our friend Vaibhav Narode sir is also helping us. And because of this total journey of 2016 to 2021, we came to know about all these teachers' rights, and as well as we came to know about these teachers' different matters. Now, in this speech, I will try to give you the actual examples or the whatever experiences we have shared during our this fight against this injustice. Now, if I start with our own institute, I was the professor. I was working as a professor in Sihegar's one of the college called as SKN College of Engineering, and I was from mechanical department. From 2012, this matter was started because of this non-payment of salaries for 3 months, 4 months, and 8 months. And then 2016, just we have written one letter to the management about the problem of 8 months delay in the salaries. And because of that letter afterwards, management terminated me. Again, I went in the tribunal, and then this kind of things I will again cover in detail. After termination, I won the case in the tribunal, and again I got the joining in the college in 2017. In 2017, again the problem was very worst, where that 16 months salary delay was there. And with that, when the maximum staff members came to us, we have tried to start with some agitation, and this agitation was started by near about 1,000 employees. In Sihegarh, it's a very big institute having 8,000 total teaching and non-teaching members. And out of that 8,000, 1,000 teachers, they have started this agitation to pay the regular salaries to the staff members, as well as to clear the all pending dues. Now, during this total journey, we went to AICT, we went to DT, which is our Directorate of Technical Education Maharashtra. We went to Vice Chancellor of Pune University for all our matters. And during this total journey, what we have seen that this kind of all the organizations, which is AICT, DT, and university, they are using their powers to the full extent. And because of that, what has happened, this kind of managements, they are not listening to these managements. During this journey, again, as per our Sridhar Vaidya sir, who is our mentor, he arranged one meeting with the management, and according to the management's meeting, after from 16 December when we started this agitation, on 8 January we signed one agreement with the management, but the management broke this agreement in 2000 after 20 days, and again this agitation started from that point onwards. So in this way, it is observed that the management generally not listens to the teachers, as well as not follows the proper guidelines which are given by AICT as well as by this different wages act. So at the end, means during this journey, we are always having the scope to discuss these points with the management. If the management fails to follow these rules, then agitation is there, and if the agitation is not works, then finally the last option left for us is to approach to the legal way, that is approach to High Court. During this journey, before going to all these phases, we must know first of all our fundamental rights of the teachers. Whenever we are working at one location, as Karthik sir has said, what salary you should get, that you must know. Many teachers, as we don't know about our rights, we are happy with whatever we are getting in that institute. Just now that Karthik sir has said that for assistant professor, the starting salary by this 6th pay commission is 57,700. But right now, how many of you, that is the fresh assistant professors, they are getting the salary of 57,700? And if you apply the 7th pay commission, because 7th pay commission was applied in 2016, and by 16 this 7th pay commission, your salary of 57,700 may go to 80,000 to 85,000. How many are getting 7th pay in the institutes? So in this case, you just reach to the government colleges and check the salaries of that government teachers. You will find that the government college teachers, they are getting salary with the 7th pay, as well as they are getting all the DA differences from 2016 to the till date. And if you go to that all colleges, you will find that though it's a COVID pandemic, still they are getting their regular salaries. So whatever the management is saying, the management generally misleads us or misguides us and always harasses us by a different way. That's why for our proper rights, first of all, try to reach to the proper forums, because we know that the government of India is at the top. Under government of India, there is a ministry called as HRD ministry, and under HRD ministry that AICT comes. So from that top point, we have to do the communication. While at the state level, because I'm from Maharashtra, others from MP and Chhattisgarh, sir is from Tamil Nadu. So in that different states, your chief minister is the key person or the leader of that state. So, and under that chief ministers, you'll find that the education department is there. And under that education department, you'll find that your technical colleges works. Like in Maharashtra, we have education minister, Uday Samanji. We met him for 2 times, and under Uday Samanji, you will find that the director of technical education department is there. So in this way, we have to communicate to that person regarding our problems. And at the university level, when the college is affiliated to any university, you'll find that the vice chancellor is also an important person. And again, this vice chancellor is having is controlled by the governor of the state. So all these points we have to consider while going for any of our grievances. These are all our grievances. And if you are not paid with the proper pay commissions, proper DA, then regular payment, then finally you have to go to the proper forum, like say in High Court. And in High Court, when in 2017 we have filed our total 800 staff members, we have filed a petition in High Court where there is a base of article, and in the article you'll find that there is a one article called as our right to life, or in short, right to live. According to this right to live, you'll find that this all the employees, they must get their salaries regularly. This is very important point in our one of the, you can say that case, or it is again applicable to all of you. And the second important article is of the is in the constitution, is about your equal work, equal pay. As you have got this let us say the qualification of MTech or PhD, while your friend also who is working in the government colleges, it's also having the same qualification, MTech and PhD. But if you check the salaries, you'll find that they are getting the highest salary total. Your government, whatever the norms are there, as per the norms, they are getting the pay commission application and DA applied, as well as the difference they are getting. And why we are not getting? So we have to use this second point, that is the equal work, equal pay in your High Court. That is, we have applied in the High Court case, and based on that, our case is going on. Now, when we have started this kind of agitation in 2017, already we have educated our staff members about the things, what will happen in this case. If you do like this, if you start agitation, what they will do, because there is a fear in the mind of the all teachers that they will terminate us. Second is they will transfer us. Third is they will suspend us, and they will apply, they will put some allegations on us. So all these things, that we have to make our staff members aware of this thing, that whatever happens there, you will find that. Hello. So you know that, you should know that there are some regulatory authorities, and they have created some documents by which you can fight with the legal ways. For the teachers, your university is having some documents called as statute of university. You have to follow the statute, and in that statute you will find that all the things are written over there. The statute says that the management can't terminate a staff directly. So what has happened, when in 2016 I was terminated directly without any kind of inquiry or anything, I won the case in 2000. After 8 to 9 months, I got the result to the tribunal, and they said the order was there that reinstate the staff in the college, and if required, you can start the inquiry against this staff member. So this is what the thing happens. So termination, if you have the termination, have the fear of suspension, then that fear is not it's not good. Or we can say that if that fear, you have to overcome that fear, or else you will become a slave. Just like what the Karthik sir has said, the management is now behaving with us like a slave. So you have to fight against this point, because we are not asking any kind of extra thing from them. We are asking the right thing, whatever is written in the different documents. So that's why this termination, was my example that my termination was cancelled and they started the inquiry. During inquiry, it's very difficult for the managements to conduct the inquiry because during the inquiries, they have to prove the charges because they are always making the charges which are generally baseless. And if the charges are not proved, then you are going to win that case again in the tribunal. So that kind of process is there. Generally, the management should not go in depth to harass the staff member. Otherwise, in this kind of hand, the management comes in trouble, not us. Only thing is that you have to survive during that time of termination by getting any kind of other options of a job. It's not that in all the world only your institute is one of the source of income for you. If that management terminates you, file your case in the tribunal and go for your second option of your income. Either go for business, work anywhere, go anywhere, but file the case and continue your fight in that battle. One more experience I want to share, that when our 800 members filed the case in the High Court, what they did, out of 800, near about 400 staff members were permanent staff members. They have terminated near about 112 permanent staff. 112 permanent staff were terminated by the management. But what has happened? The High Court directed the management to take that all 112 back to their job. And also High Court said that whatever the termination time was there of 4 months, they said that pay them 4 months salary also. So all these 112 got rejoined through the High Court order because AICT, DT and university, they failed to give the proper justice to the staff members. That's why we went in the High Court, and now we are very thankful to the High Court, as well as the High Courts are working properly. That's why we are having some hope, or else it is very difficult for us to fight for this kind of managements. But it depends on management to management. Some managements are very good. If they came to know that this kind of things are going to create some problem for them, create some losses of 100, 200 crores for them, and accordingly they will take the proper step and they will ask you for some kind of, say, compromise. They will say that this is what possible and this is the budget of our college, this is the 5 to 10 years of our audit report, and check it. Because all these colleges, all these managements they must work on the principle of no profit, no loss, because all this comes under charity commissioner. In Maharashtra also, the charity commissioner Pune, we have filed one complaint, and by that complaint our management is now they have started the process to dismiss the complete trustees of our institute, because our institute has transferred near about 350 crores to the other trusts. When you have the problem of salaries paying in our colleges, like say 25 to 30 months salary is pending, but still you are giving 350 crores to the other trusts, other allied trust, and which is not as per the charity commissioner's rule. So if you go through all these authorities, you will find that these authorities will work only when you will file your grievances to them. Also, one of the points sir has said that during the service conditions, what about the provident fund? It is said that sometimes the management says that provident fund is not applicable to all, but I can say that provident fund is applicable to everybody. If the person is on contract basis, still he should get the provident fund. Right now they have said that 15,000 is the cap they have applied, and 15,000 12%, which comes as 1,800. 1,800 is the PF account, PF amount that must deducted from your account, and 1,800 must get from management side. So this kind of PF is there, while actually in government colleges, instead of PF they are getting CPF, and that CPF is very high, where that amount is near about 15,000 was paid by the management and 15,000 was paid by the staff. But that kind of one case about the private colleges is going on in the High Court. Still at this stage, what we can say that the 1800 PF is the present condition. If you are not getting the proper PF in your account, or if your account is not opened by your management, then simply reach to your nearest PF office, district office, and file the complaint, or just use the email, and through email file the complaint to that PF officer. He will complete the formalities and he will do the things for you onwards. So PF generally comes at the starting of your service, while this gratuity comes whenever you are going for retirement or when you are going for resigning. As Karthik sir has said that there is a condition of 4.15 like years, or sometimes they say also that 5 years of complete service is there, then you are eligible for the gratuity. While government of, I think, India is also trying to reduce that span to 2 to 3 years also. This is what is going on. But right now from 5 years onwards, they are eligible for the gratuity. And if gratuity must be paid by the management. So again, you have to do the mail communication with the management after you are resigning or after your the retirement. And within 1 month, if you are not getting it, then again you have to approach to your proper forum, like say the labor code is there. That labor code, you have to file the case, and 100% you will get that all your dues of your gratuity case. And also it is of 10% of interest. So in this way, the gratuity is also important. And now different points about the salaries as well as your DA difference and your arrears. When we are saying up the managements, what right now what they are doing, if you see the if you go back to 5 to 10 years, you find that your managements, they have started these colleges. Why? To run the colleges for a charity or to get these donations. Generally, what the managements are doing, this kind of donations, which we can say that it's a black money. They are getting this kind of donations from the like say parents, and they have used that black money for their own development, while whatever the fees was there of your other staff to students, that must be given to the staff members, because out of your total collection of 100% of fees, near about 60 to 70% of your share of that fee must go to the salary of the staff. Now, again, how much staff is required in your college? That also it is directed by the AICTE. About the ratio of the student, 1:for 20 students should be there. In this intake is very important, not the admitted student, because as Karthik sir also said that getting admission is not our task. If you maintain good quality in the institute, if you pay the staff regularly, then accordingly you will get the good admissions in your college. When admissions are more, you will get all the fees to your accounts, and that fees the management must give it to the staff members, because only the infrastructure is not sufficient for the development of any college. The proper staff members, college staff members, will uplift your college to the higher levels. Higher levels, when we have to compare our institute, or the management must compare their institute with the IITs, NITs, REC colleges, and government colleges. In that all colleges, when we say that getting the admission in the IIT means getting the at least the package of 20 lakh at the final year, while in private colleges, what is happening now, the packages are starting from 3 lakh to going up to 8 or 10 lakh. So this is what the change. Why? So this kind of quality must be maintained by the management, and that's why when the admissions are there, through that admissions you have to pay to the salary to the staff members. And one of the case, court said that if you are not able to pay the salary to the staff member, then shut down the institute or transfer that management of the institute to the good management, those who will work properly. So in many cases, or also in our status, where always we are saying that whenever very good management is going wrong, then other good managements like say Tata must take over such kind of managements, and they will take this kind of institute to the higher levels, like say to the level of your IITs. So whatever the payment is there, the ratio of the students 1:20. If there is a intake of, let us say, 60 for one of the branch, like say mechanical, and for 4 years. So from second year, third year, final year, 3 into 3 into 3. So total about 9 staff members will be required for SCTB, and for the first years 1 or 2. So likewise, 12 staff members should be there for that department for that particular strength, and accordingly, in the same proportion, non-teaching staff should be there. Like say, for non-teaching and teaching, there is a ratio of 1:2. For 2 teachers, there must be a 1 non-teaching staff. So that thing, once that ratio is maintained, then it is possible for the management to pay that staff regularly with the proper scale and proper DA. So you must get all these kind of benefits during your service, and if you are not getting the benefits, then you must raise your voice through the different platforms, like say, as sir has said, the regulating authorities are there. Write them the proper letter, proper format. Before that, you can also request your management and your principal about your all the problems. Many times, this kind of they are not in the mood. That is, the principal and the management, they are not in the mood to solve the problems, as well as they are not taking care of the teachers, and that's why this kind of fight goes on. Now, whenever you are going in the high court, the judicial system is going through different phases. Like say, there is a advocate from our side, management also has their way to appoint their advocate. Judge is also one of the important member in that condition. Then other cases are in the high courts. So because of that, sometimes you will find, so delay may take place in the case, but this delay, we should have patience, because this kind of fight against this injustice is it's a game of patience. The person who loses the patience fails that game, and we always on right side, while the management always makes the mistakes, we know. So that thing, that points we have to raise, and you have to prepare for the final outcome of the cases. Now in the case of our say the termination, when we are approaching to the tribunal, university tribunal is there, many times 98% of cases, they were won by the teachers only. In some cases, the problem is that if there is a misbehavior of the staff or the financial fraud, in that case, only in that case, sometimes you may get the wrong result, but generally our staff member never goes for that kind of issues. So that's why near about 98% of cases were won by our staff members. So you have to continue with that cases if something happens with you by the management. And for permanent staff members, it is difficult for them to terminate. That's why they are going for suspension. Right now, our management also have suspended staff members, and that staff members, they are getting their suspension allowance at home. For first 3 months, they are getting the half of their total salary as a suspension allowance. After next 3 months, they are getting 75% of suspension allowance, and after that, they are getting full suspension allowance. So in this way, because of this COVID pandemic, their suspension time got increased up to 1.5 years, and during that particular time, they have got near about the salaries equal to 1 year, and through that salaries, now they will choose their next path, because many times this kind of inquiry, whenever it is carried out at the management level, at the college level, the output or the result of the inquiry somewhat is fixed, that you will get terminated from that inquiry. But from that inquiry onwards, when you reach in the university tribunal, you are going to win that case in the case of tribunal. So this journey or this cycle you must complete once you want to get the good results, and during that process you have the options to go to different forums about your grievance. As I said that my case is also going on in the trial, but parallelly also members they are in the High Court. Some have reached to the Supreme Court also. Some are there in the university grievances. There is one more forum called as university grievances. Instead of if your matter is very small, then directly you can't reach in the High Court. The High Court will direct you to go to the university grievances first, and from that university grievances come with the result to us. So during this all the journey, we came across many cases of the grievances also, not from our institute but from the other institute. One of our one madam, she has got near about 24 lakhs dues or the areas through the grievances, and out of the 24 lakh, the management has paid near about 2 to 3 lakhs in this last month, but this madam is asking for total 24 lakhs of the dues, and that's why now she is going to file her appeal in the High Court. So remove all the fear from your mind about all these court cases. These are only helpful to us. That's why this is nothing but the final option for us to fight against this management. We are also trying to get some kind of say good result, good directions. AICTE. This will happen only when many cases will get filed against these managements, and then it is called as the sumo motu action. Sumo motu action is done by this High Court. The court will direct the AICTE that many cases are coming to us. What you are doing? Why the AICTE and the university are not solving the problem of staff members? This thing will be asked to them by the High Court, and as well as they will change this continuous scenario or the system of the management, the working of the management. In that case, we met our education minister last 2 to 3 years back, and we asked them one thing, that social welfare department pays near about 50 to 60% of their amount, scholarship amount to the managements. So instead of management, we asked the government to pay our salaries. What we said, like the granted colleges, they are getting salary from the government. So we asked them to pay the salaries to us, because this management, the money, whatever the social welfare money comes to the management, but from management, the money is never comes to the teachers. Out of that siphoning of that, the other, and with less is given to the teachers. So in this case, whatever the things are there, don't think about this other issues, or say the all the wrong sides of our work, but always think about this right points. Whenever you find that it's injured, else very great harassment will take place to you, and you will be in big problem, because as you are not raising the noise, you will get financially collapsed, and also you will get military collapse by the harassment of by the management. So stay strong, and it is not only one option for you to work in that country or in the world. You can do any kind of job, but here, before getting terminated, suspended, you must stay over there. Never resign your post. Never give resignation from your post. Let the management terminate you or suspend you from that your post. Then you have the other options. So many of your advocates says the same thing. While going for your selection of the advocate, always try to take an advocate who is having experience of our academic cases. If you take the advocate of other criminal criminal or civil cases, then if he's not having knowledge, then you will be in trouble, because this is the path, and that path we have to continue up to the end, like say from tribunal to high court if it is required. And generally from high court, generally the management never goes to Supreme Court. From high court they will call you back for joining. They will try to settle the matter. They will try to give you all your compensation to you, and accordingly then you can decide at your own what to do. So in this way, our teachers matters are there. We can say that our fundamental rights are there. Our right is of getting the regular salary. It is given by us by our constitution as a right to life. And our you can also ask not only the present salary, but you can also ask your DA differences from date of joining to the till date as per the government norms, as per the standard norms. If you if you go back to the joining date, in the first joining date, if it is in the 6 pay commission, then you must get 15,600 as the basic pay, then 6,000 as your AGP. And with that scale, if you do the calculation of from the start beginning to the present day, then you can calculate all the DA differences for which you are eligible. And these DA differences you will get it only and only when you approach to the high court. This also you have to try to the other by these other ways, like say going to the AICT DT also. But finally this legal action plays a vital role in this case, and the management, they have to follow the legal action. If they are not following it, then it goes for the contempt of court, and under contempt of court, the management's president, then the principals, they will get imprisonment of 3 months to 6 months. This is what the fear. And already we have seen that many of the political leaders also got this kind of imprisonment because of this contempt of court or because of the action of the high court. But have you seen any kind of case where the AICT and DT and the university has punished that management for this kind of things? So that's why, though it is somewhat looks very long process, but we don't have any option than to go to the high courts or to the legal authorities. Parallelly, you have to do the work with the AICT, DT, then income tax, then charity commissioner. All these will help you to some extent. And because of this, all the issues, management may come to you for your solving all the issues. You should not have any kind of fear about from that management side. If there is a fear, you have very different options to launch a complaint in the police station, also nearby police station. If the nearby police station is not accepting your complaint, then you have the option directly to send the mail to the commissioner of police of your district, or to the your state police, as well as to the home of your state. Everywhere, always do the mail communication. Will help you a lot to solve all those in short span. So the point of termination, suspension, as well as the point of our transfer. If the many institutes are there under one umbrella, then they may harass the employees by transferring to the other locations. So this kind of things may happen. But again, this transfer is also illegal, and for this illegal transfer, we have the different options, or there are different rules of the transfer also. So we have to challenge everything in that case, and then finally you will get the good results. Only thing is that patience is needed in the case of your court. The matter may go on for some days, some years, but finally you will get the output at the end. So in this way, what I can say, that for your basic rights, you should know the basic right. One is that you are eligible to get the complete salary regularly. if management is not sufficient to pay, not having eligible to pay you the regular salary and the full salary, then they have to shut down the institute, or they have to transfer this management to the good management, so they will do the work as per the proper purpose of this management, because the purpose is that no profit, no loss. These are all public trusts. If the public trusts are not handled properly by the management, then the charity commissioner has option to remove all trustees from the management and appoint an administrator on that management, as well as they can transfer this present management to the any other good management. So all these things are there in a loop, and that you have to try all the options for this case. This is what it's very short time, but I have tried to give the maximum inputs to you, and remaining points I will try to solve if you go for this question and answers part. Is it okay whatever I have covered? Okay, one question I have, I can see now here in the chat box, that what are the rules for transfer? Now, if you go to your joining order given by your management, in that joining order, you have to read each clause of the joining order. In that clause, if they have written that your transfer is possible under this colleges works under the same management, then you have but similarly for the transfer, if you have the family reasons, if you have a health reason, in that case the management must take your consent before going for your transfer order. And if you say that because of this family issue, because of this dependency issue of your elderly parents, then you can deny the transfer, and the management must take care of your issues to solve the problems. One more question is that what is the role of UGC? So University Grant Commission. University Grant Commission is always there for the different colleges, like say arts commerce colleges are there, while for the other colleges we have different authorities. So again, in that regulating authority, along with AICTE, UGC is also there for that science and commerce colleges, and at that time they must consider all these conditions of your approval, and accordingly they have to give some direction to the management to work properly. But like say AICTE, we know that sometimes they are only for the namesake, the authorities are there and they are not helping the staff members properly, and that's why our problems are increasing, and that's why we are thinking of to going in the court instead of going to this authorities. But we have to start the procedure. Yes.
Sindhe sir, one question I would like to say that as the government employees are eligible for medical kind of benefit, so all the employees of the private engineering or school colleges are also must be benefited with. I think there is a rule in anything that you know about this medical benefit and
for
insurance kind of thing.
Correct. For the medical benefit, actually you are eligible to get 10 days of medical leave in a year. 10 days of medical leave in a year, and casual leaves of near about 15 days casual leave in a year, and also your vacation again in different universities it is 60 days, 75 days and 90 days vacations are there. So that vacation, you are also eligible for all these vacations. So whenever you are not getting this kind of benefits, you have to write.
अकेला मैं आने से हो जाएगा?
And in many colleges or the many managements, they are not granting the maternity leaves to the lady staff members. While if you have heard this new thing that fraternity leave for fathers also. The 15 days leave was given by our government. So for this maternity leave, 6 months.
सर आपका म्यूट हो गया है.
हाँ. So the lady staff must get 6 months paid leave. Ladies must get 6 months paid leave in that colleges where if you are a approved staff, and if you are not an approved staff, then take the legal opinion of your advocate and accordingly also try to get the benefit of maternity leave, because this maternity leave is very good right of the lady staff members. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt, but as per maternity, even an ad hoc staff can get ad hoc faculty. Even many colleges, few colleges are giving. The only condition is that you should work for 6 months. If you have completed 6 months in any college, even on ad hoc basis, you will get complete 6 months maternity. So if you're not getting it, we need to approach to WDCS, Women Development Cell of the college. Else, Women Commission in Bandra you can go, because few of the staff members, few of the staff members in our college went there and they got 6 months maternity with all the benefits.
So what has happened?
One good option.
Correct. Now, what has happened? I missed to tell you one thing about our latest result of ad hoc staffs. When our staff was terminated in 2018, and because of this corona, when that time span goes there without any kind of hearing, but in the last 4 months back, we got the result, and through that result, our 100 ad hoc staff members, they won the case of rejoining the college. See, whenever you are going to complete your 1 year of your probation, and when it is goes for 1 year and 1 day, you are considered as a deemed permanent staff. Because in the 5th pay commission, it was a condition of 2 years for ad hoc, but now in the 6th pay commission, there is a condition of only 1 year of ad hoc. 1 year of probation or 1 year of service when you complete, and when the college asks you for rejoining, it says that you are a good teacher, and that's why this vacancy is only available to you. And when this vacancy will get converted to the approved staff, then at that time this ad hoc staff must get first benefit or first chance to get approved. Approval is not getting approval is not a work of a staff member. Trying to arrange interviews every year is the work of management. Management must ask for interviews every year. It is not again at local level. They must ask the interviews through the universities, and after 1 year, when the 1 year is covered, so in our case, our 100 staff, they have completed their 1 year of service. Some have completed 4 years of service, some have completed 6 years of service. So because of that condition, our 100 staff got this result of rejoining through the tribunal. Only 3 staff were disqualified because of their very less experience of 6 months. Only 3. So this ad hoc, don't consider this ad hoc as a very low profile or not having much right. Ad hoc is also having the same right. Ad hoc is also eligible for PF. Ad hoc is also eligible to get the next job after your interview, because as you are working in the college and during your 1 year of service, if you are not getting any kind of memo, if you are not got any kind of say the punishment warning from the management, then it says that you are a good teacher, and as you are a good teacher, management has asked to you to continue for the second year. Actually, what must happen every yes.
Sir, can you hear me? Shall I ask you one question?
Okay.
Sir, I'm
Rangnath sir. Bole sir. Yes.
I'm from Karnataka. Now, here in Karnataka, many colleges are following one rule that is called as PBIS rule, performance-based appraisal system, in almost all the colleges. So what they do is give less marks to all the faculty members. Around, say, for example, 100 faculty members are there in college. For 90 members, they'll give less marks, and they'll conduct one meeting, and they'll say that we are giving less marks only to know where you are lacking. This is only
Hmm.
for your improvement purpose. Will not consider this CBIS format for increments. Initially, they'll say
Hmm.
that. So later, if any faculty members raise voice,
Hmm.
they'll use that CBIS form to terminate a faculty. This is the tactics and techniques used by many colleges in Karnataka. That is
Hmm.
one question. One more question, sir.
Hmm.
So in many colleges, now in this year, admission is very, very low,
Okay.
especially in
Yes.
mechanical engineering.
Yes, correct. Same. So my branch is same one.
At that time, what they'll do, they'll ask faculty members forcefully to give
Hmm.
resignation.
We should.
But faculty member situation will be like I'll give you one example.
Hmm.
In Tumkur, so one college like Sridevi Institute of Technology,
Hmm.
they withheld 3 months of salary of all the faculty members, and
Hmm.
they conveyed message to faculty members saying that if you give resignation, your 3 months salary will be released. Otherwise,
Hmm.
we'll hold salary and we'll terminate you.